Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and this is Renault, the avatar of integrity when it comes to Comicsgate news and information. And today, we're going to be talking about grifting. And I know that this has been a hot-button issue. A lot of people have talked about it, and so I figured I was going to stay out of it because the only time I'm really going to be considered someone a grifter is if they're just taking money without ever planning to provide. You know, the B. Claymores, the Richard Paces, who's another one? The Kieran Shiaks. You know, those people are grifters. It is obvious that those projects are never going to be completed. Those people are grifters. It's obvious that at this point that they're never going to complete their projects. They just took the money and ran. They used their popularity and influence to just rile up their supporters and then just steal money. However, this is different. Lately, some people have been saying that Comicsgate is a grift because a lot of individuals are alleging that personalities will make people angry and stoke anger, and then try and use that anger to manipulate them into supporting their products and making purchases. For example, you're looking at someone named Clamp Hikaru, who is calling it a Comicsgate a grift. He's or she, I'm not actually sure. Clamp Hikaru is calling Comicsgate a grift, for example, after the 2-year grift, actually. Now, for those of you who don't know, Clamp Hikaru is actually one of Doug TenNapel, Edwin Boyette, and ex-Mike X Miller's moderator. So he's kind of a soldier of the crypt. It's ironic that these hardcore Christian guys have made this edgelord a moderator in all 3 of those channels. It stinks like gay ops to me. It's really suspicious that the same people are getting a moderator wrenches on their YouTube channels for all 3 of these people. It sounds like more like a clan control, but that's a topic of a different discussion. Right now, Clamp Hikaru is a moderator on several antagonist channels, and so Hikaru here is calling Comicsgate a grift. And normally I have this person blocked. I don't care what they have to say, I ignore it. But somebody recently sent me some recent information that makes me believe I have indeed discovered who the grifters are in Comicsgate. And it's actually not Comicsgate itself, but some of these outside parties that are just stoking anger and frustration. So accuse people of that of which you do. So, for example, one of the first images I received was from this person, Vicki. Now, Vickiverse has been just trolling around, stoking anger exactly like everybody has been saying, and lo and behold, Vicki here has a store and she's selling product and she's trying to get people to buy something from her. Now, I was more than happy to ignore Vicki. I followed her for a bit. I realized that she was an antagonist, so I unfollowed her. But then she actually popped up into my thread once and started making apologetics for some doxing. And I'm not about that. That's not something I support or endorse. And so, oops. Hold on. What's going on here? There's no music. There's supposed to be music. Oh well. Life sucks and then you die. Oh, there it is. Huh. Anyway, whatever. That's gonna be weird. But I'm not gonna start over. To hell with it. Anyway, my experience with Vicki was that she popped up into my thread and started acting as a doxing apologist. Like, oh, that's not doxing. It's like, there's a group of people who are like, lol, for those of you who may not recall, there was a person who donated to your boy Zach's GoFundMe for his new lawyer case. This person donated over nearly $10,000, and then the donation got flagged, allegedly by Renfamos, and so Nancy was required to reveal who she truly was. And then once that information was revealed, Renfamous and a group of other people started harassing her, calling her workplace, and then someone called her at home. And so so that's doxing. That is doxing. They did a gay off, they got a financial donation forced to be made public instead of anonymous, and then they used that information to call people's jobs in workplaces. That's doxing as far as I'm concerned. And so Vicki, and so the people, so a group of people who are associated with a certain zombie book, their PR person, was making jokes about it, like, ho 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 ho, Doc's life. Looks like somebody was messing around with a credit card. But anyway, the point is, Vicki was trying to make apologetics for that. And it's like, no, that's not what happened. And it's like, that's literally what happened. A PR person for a certain zombie book was making jokes about a woman getting doxxed. And so that was my encounter with Vicki. I decided to block Vicki immediately. And that's who Vicki is. If you look through her tweets, you'll see that she's an antagonist. But why is she an antagonist? To drum up anger and support so that she can get people to buy her product. So there you go. That's grifting. They're stoking anger. They're doing it for money. She is trying to get money, but she's not the only one. Another person, another screenshot got to me, which is of this person, Fan Advocacy Network. Now, for those of you who don't know who Fan Advocacy Network is, Fan Advocacy is a person who I suspect buys YouTube followers, and this is a person who likes to brag about how many YouTube followers he has. And it's like the numbers are a little hinky. But anyway, this is a person who constantly jumps into threads, makes false statements, makes false allegations, stoking anger, stoking hatred, and then complaining that Comicsgate is a grift. But then look at that. This person has a store and a business, and he commissioned a Kane and White to draw this piece. So it's obvious that this is another person who is stoking anger and trying to get people all riled up and so that they can be emotionally manipulated into buying product and purchasing product. Now, again, this is obviously another person who is just engaging. Again, how it goes is accuse people of that of which you do. Now, the next thing, again, these were all sent to me, so I apologize that things are not more clear. But the next thing I wanted to show you was this person, Rumble Terrier. Now, Rumble Terrier, my first encounters with Rumble Terrier, he used to go by the name Kane-9. Actually, I don't want to say him, my apologies. I don't know Rumble Terrier's pronouns, because I don't want to say him and assume his gender or identity, or this person's gender identity. Sorry, I keep doing it. It's a natural habit. It's natural for the English language. So, Rumble Terrier, again, this information was sent to me. He has, see, there you go. So, Rumble Terrier has established a cologne so that you can smell like Rumble's vagina here. And so, when it comes to grifting, again, this is a person who has been an antagonist for a very long time, complaining, showing up in threads completely uninvited, being a little nuisance, and just harassing people and being a little instigator. But that's, again, to stoke anger and convince people to emotionally validate them by buying this perfume, to buy their perfume. So if you do want to smell like a Rumble Terrier's vagina, go ahead and buy this perfume. If you want to, and by the way, this is just one screenshot. I've been told that Fan Advocacy has a large number of different t-shirts, so this is just, I'm not saying that he's appealing to women, but Fan Advocacy just has, this is just what was sent to me. And this is just what was sent to me. And one last thing, so yeah, this is just what was sent to me. Rumble's cologne, so you can, cologne. Cologne is for men, perfume is for women, or generally. But, you know, if you're a man and you want to put on perfume, or whatever your gender identity is, you can go ahead and put on perfume. You can, again, smell like this person's vagina here. And then, Midnight Cherry, again, another person who just goes around stoking anger and frustration, just being a little nuisance, making false allegations, doing gay ops. He actually, Midnight Cherry actually ran a gay ops on me. That works as a Midnight Cherry. I keep saying Rumble Cherry and Midnight Cherry. They're friends with one another. So Midnight Cherry sent me some DMs. I sent some DMs. He screenshotted the DMs and then deleted his old profile, or his old profile got banned. And then he came back 3 or 4 times. And when somebody gets their account suspended, you don't have access to their DMs anymore. But he screenshotted the DMs, so he kept those. And then he revealed them and took them out of context. That's just, again, stowing frustration, stowing anger, so that they can be driven to his shop. And he's encouraging people to buy his product. So this is textbook grifting. This is how grifting works. Well, this is one way how grifting works, where you can just make people angry, make people upset, and then you can convince them to buy your product or purchase your whatevers. And so, again, Midnight Cherry's friend Rumble Terrier has this perfume that looks like it's being sold. That got sent to me. Fan Advocacy has t-shirts and other whole business empire based on stoking anger and frustration. Vicki is again trying to stoke anger so that people can be convinced, so to speak, to buy their junk. And by the way, I want to touch on this whole Vicki thing one more time. By the way, before I go over that, there's one other thing I want to mention. I never finished my how my encounter with Rumble went. So Rumble just popped into my timeline way over a year ago, like in October or November of 2018, and he started just trying to lecture me on how to behave, and I'm like, this is the internet, fuck off. So I just started calling him an NPC over and over again, and that he's a computer program. And then he accused me of being War Campaign. And so I was like, dude, I'm not War Campaign. Fuck out of here. Fuck off with that noise. And then he blocked, and then I blocked him back. And so he's been blocked for over a year now, but he still has a piss and moan, and he still pisses and moans about me every once in a while. But again, so that's the story about me and the Terrier. Like, I've had him blocked for since October of 2018. He called me War Campaign. I told him to fuck off. He blocked me, and I blocked him back. Fan Advocacy, I think I have him blocked. I'm pretty sure I do. And Hikaru, I do have blocked because he's a little piece of garbage. Midnight Cherry, I also have blocked. So yeah, all 4 of these people I have blocked. That's a pretty good indicator. I guess that's a pretty good metric on how you can determine if somebody's a little shit. If I have them blocked, they're probably a little shit who's trying to stoke anger to generate business. Alright, so anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and go over that. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Renault, the avatar of integrity for Comicsgate. And I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.